Hello everybody, I wanted to welcome you guys to a new series of videos on Legendlore that I will be creating, which I will be calling Storycast. These will essentially be very quick one-off hand videos about stories in D&D games that I've run and played in, just so that way you guys don't go whole weeks without any form of content from me. Full Legendlore pieces and videos always take a long time for me to make due to other commitments in my life, and I will do my absolute best to keep up, but pieces from here will be a lot less detailed and a lot less focused than the traditional works. That said, I wanted to share with you guys a story of a PC from my game that I run one-on-one with my significant other. Her name is Merrigold Hook, and she is a human transmutation wizard that has just reached level 10. And I wanted to tell you about the time that her ingenuity and frustration led to one of the most campaign-breaking moments I've ever experienced in my entire tabletop career. To set the scene, the campaign was focused on the undead lich god Vecna, and how they were masquerading as Shargos, the orcish god of undead and mysteries. Through this manipulation, she had managed to organize all of the orcish tribes into a single formidable unit and introduce them to the constant and frequent use of necromancy, building up undying forces that sought to use them to take over the realm by force. Naturally, Merrigold and her assembled party of NPCs sought to take the battle against them, fighting hags, saving druids, brokering peace between the many human nations and non-human nations. One such adventure saw Merrigold come into the possession of a dagger gifted by Vecna to a hag who had been serving them, this dagger holding a single cast of the 6th level spell, Soul Cage. This is important to remember, but for the time being she gave it to the rogue of the party for safekeeping. Fast forward a couple levels later, and the party has gone into the orcish territories to gather information on Vecna's plans, meeting with a number of tribes who wish to avoid the conflict, and seeking to provide them refuge within the human lands to avoid the oncoming orcish and necromantic war machine. They succeeded, but were set upon by a number of Vecna's duped followers, who believed they were doing the work of Shargos. One combat later, the party managed to take an orc cleric prisoner, and in an attempt to convince them that they were being manipulated by Vecna and not serving the god they thought they were, allowed them to commune with the deity as a show of devotion and faith. As expected, cue Vecna possessing the body of the orc to glow and provide the party with a viciously self-indulgent villainous monologue. And Merrigold had had quite enough of her manipulations and schemes, given it had put her friends, lovers, and even her parents in danger, as well as the orcs that she had come to admire and care for. Then she remembers the Soul Cage knife, and in an absolute in-game and out-of-game gamble, takes the knife from the rogue and slits the throat of the orc while Vecna was still inside of it. Now disclaimer. I understand that a dinky knife with a spell in it would not be able to contain the soul of a deity, but in my world, gods cannot influence the world directly and must place pieces of their soul/power upon the material plane to have a direct hand in anything. The piece itself cannot be too powerful lest the mortal vessel that it inhabits degrade and dissolve over time, but it must be powerful enough for them to bear some form of true power, such as possession, and the conjuring of legions upon legions of undead. With that killing blow and the casting of the spell, Merrigold captured the small sliver of power Vecna had placed on this material plane, stripping all magic that she had provided to the orcish followers that she had fooled, and causing all the legions of undead that they had manifested to collapse. With one move, my partner completely pulled the rug out from under me and crippled the villain's forces, and it was pretty fucking awesome. I really couldn't be mad because of how unexpected it was, and for 8 hours, as per the description of Soul Cage, Vecna was effectively put into an extraplanar timeout, and would have to start from scratch upon being released. This gave Merrigold and her party enough time to find the other big players in Vecna's plan, and defeat them. And thus my campaign's main plot came to an early end, resulting in her character being awarded the title of Kingsmaven, which is a position very similar to the Hand of the King from Game of Thrones, and all of her fellow NPCs becoming knighted. The moral of the story, if there really is any, is to always expect the unexpected, and be open to surprises as a dungeon master. Stuff like this is one of the reasons why I love DMing as much as I do, because it really is a true test of me thinking on my feet and rewarding a player's ingenuity. I thought for a second that it wouldn't make sense because god souls could not be contained in mundane objects, but it was such an unexpected move that the player had worked so hard to figure out and implement that not rewarding it would have been a great disservice to the dedication and struggle they had gone through up to this point. The point of the DM is to always make sure that your player's actions matter in some way, shape, or form. And so, that is but one story of Merrigold's many different adventures, and hopefully I'll be able to provide some more in future storycasts as we continue to explore her journey. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please click the bell icon and subscribe for all future Legendlores and storycasts. And if you guys want to support my work, please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok, as well as check out some of the homebrew content that I have in the description below, including a new goblin bestiary that allows you to keep goblins as a constant threat even beyond starting levels. With that, I'll see you guys next time.